How's it going, guys? This is Peter here, and we are going on with the build explanation videos. So far we had an LA, an Acro and a Warrior, but this time I bring you a Ranger Beastmaster build. The people's choice, this Ranger build won the poll by a big margin, and I'm pretty sure some of you have never tried playing a Beastmaster in Guild Wars 1, but it's a lot of fun for several reasons. Not just that pets are very tanky, their damage output is also great. And if you didn't know, in PvE the pet's damage is superior to many other regular allies. Basically they take 33% less damage from enemies and they deal 33% more damage to enemies. And you know that the most ridiculous thing, this 33% increase works basically any source of damage. I didn't want to believe it at first, but check out this clip. So normally my splinter weapon should deal 38 damage to adjacent foes, but I'm using it on my pet, so it's actually 51, a huge difference. And I'm pretty sure it works on weapon spells, on enchantments, like Strength of Honor, basically on any kind of a skill. So I think this is not an exaggeration when I say that the right Beastmaster builds are probably top 3 in single target damage. Just look at the numbers, crazy high damage per second. Also, there are at least 5 different builds which are worth looking at, meaning you won't get bored too easily using a pet. Okay, before I show you all the builds in action, let's do some skill mechanics. So I think it's better to talk about the very basics on how to use a pet. So pet attacks are very different from normal attacks. You can test it yourself, just go outside and you can click on any pet attack basically, and nothing happens if you do that. So in order to actually do damage, you have two choices. The first one is simple, but keep in mind the pet may attack a different target than you do. Basically you just start auto attacking an enemy and the pet will do the same thing. And once the pet is there, you can start using the skills, but don't use them too fast. This is important because if you use like 2 skills in a row, the pet may only do the last one, the last attack, which results in a drop of damage. Don't do something like this because the pet attacks will overwrite each other if you use them too quickly. Like I said, there are 2 possibilities. The second one is this little number at the pet's name, and this is similar to the hero command feature. So if you have a priority target, best to force your pet to focus on that one particular target. Like if you are fighting a healer or a boss or something important, best to use this one. And as long as the target is alive, the pet will follow and attack this target. If the target dies, the pet will go back to guard or heal, depending on what you had before the battle. Alright, let's start with probably the most damage focused one, Enraged Lunge. This is probably my favorite one since I love the yellow numbers, and this one can satisfy my hunger for DPS. 16 Beastmaster is quite obvious, I think. 13 expertise maybe not so much. So expertise reduces the cost of your pet skills too, meaning at 13 expertise your Beastmaster skills cost 48% less energy. You will see my Ranger gear is quite similar in every build, 5 Beastmaster insignias. Usually I be using a staff because my pet does the damage, not me, so why not use a staff? In this case you get more energy and heroes might use Blood's Power on you, but feel free to use the Anniversary Sword too, or a shield set or anything you like. The build is quite flexible. And a few words about the skills. Enraged Lunge causes deep wound and deals nice damage. Scavenger Strike provides a lot of energy if your target has a condition, and Brutal Strike hits like a truck if your target's HP is sub 50%. This skill can easily hit over 200 damage even in hard mode. Basically you can use these skills in this order, so 1, 2, 3, and your target will probably die. The rest of the build is to make the pet more tanky or attack faster, so if you need more damage or attacking speed, Feral Aggression is a great one, and if you want your pet to run faster, use Call of Haste, and we have Call of Protection, which is probably the best pet skill ever. This is like the best skill to make your pet a tank. So this is a shout, and for 2 minutes your pet has 21 damage reduction. Honestly, this is a joke. You remember when I said pets have 33% damage reduction? Now this skill makes them even more tanky. By the way, I forgot to say pets have 80 armor by default. just like warriors and paragons do. Anyway, Great Dwarf Weapon is the next skill, great extra damage and a chance for a knockdown. And the last skill is Comfort Animal. This is a must-have to make your pet travel with you and resurrect the pet if needed. Okay, how to use the build in action. So make sure you have Strength of Honor on the pet, then use Call of Protection, Call of Haste and Feral Aggression. Then use Great Dwarf Weapon on the pet when you aggro and give it a target. When the pet is close to your target, use Enraged Lunge, then Scavenger Strike and Brutal Strike if your target is sub 50%, and regular foes will die from this spike even in hard mode. In case your target survives, just use the Elite skill again or use Brutal Strike again till you can finish your enemy. Basically that's it, and you will see most of the next builds are quite similar except the Elite skills. The second Elite is Strike as one. Now this is a lot of fun because you can actually teleport your pet to your target and also inflict bleeding and crippled conditions. This is a perfect way to distract the enemy groups, since the pet will work like an Ebon Vanguard assassin and enemies will focus on him for quite a long time. The build is almost the same as before, but here we don't have Call of Haste since the pet reaches the monsters immediately and running speed isn't as important. Okay, moving on, the next Elite is Heal as one. This skill heals you and your pet and also makes your pet's attack do some life-stealing stuff. At 16 Beastmaster the pet does 21 life-stealing with each attack, and this is very overpowered and makes your pet even more tanky. This is a great build if you want to have some fun without heroes, just you and your pet against the whole world. You can use it for solo farming too. Watch this clip, the pet heals himself with the life-stealing very easily, plus you can heal the pet if you use the Elite every now and then. You can add Predatory Bond too for your own healing, but honestly if you use the build well and let the pet be the tank, your HP will be maxed all the time. Great Elite skill again, highly recommended. And last but not least we have Together as One, the anniversary Elite skill, and I wanted to make something with this one. Here it is. You are fighting side by side with your pet in melee range. With this build you can feel yourself more useful since you are actually doing some hack and slash with the Ranger Anniversary Sword, and the Elite skill increases both your and your pet's damage and also provides nice HP regen. Plus, with Never Rampage alone, both of you attack faster and have even more HP regen, and actually there is only one new skill here, Poisonous Bite, to inflict some condition for Scavenger Strike. You know, this build is somewhat more energy heavy, and with a condition we can solve this for Scavenger Strike. Of course, if your hero team has conditions, you can bring another damage skill and forget the condition. Okay, now let's see what can make your pet stronger. I've already mentioned most of these, this is just a quick summary to be honest. So Strength of Honor, Great Dwarf Weapon or Splinter Weapon for extra damage, skills that inflict cracked armor can also help, Blood is Power for energy management, and the hero AI will use it on you if you have a staff in your hands. Anyway, you should be using Racing Beetle for maximum attacking speed. You know, this one attacks faster than other pets do, but also moves slower. And of course you can make your pet evolve into a dire pet to deal more damage. And I'm not an expert on this topic, so I won't go into details, but this table will help. Basically, high damage dealt to damage received ratio will turn your pet into a dire one. This also means the pet will lose some HP, but trust me, HP doesn't matter too much, since your pet is a great tank and not many fools can hurt it. Of course, there are ways to ruin the effectiveness of these Beastmaster builds, the typical anti-melee skills, hexes that make attacks miss. Blocking isn't really a problem since we have Otio's Cry, but all the other skills like Clumsiness, Ineptitude, Crippling Anguish, Blurred Vision, Blinding Flash and so on, so these skills will make your pet not as useful as normally. Also don't forget to use the builds in a decent way, I mean don't use too many pet attacks too quickly, and another issue can be if your pet gets stuck somewhere or there are too many fools in a crowded area and the pet can't reach the target. These things can happen, and unless you have Strike as one as an elite skill, you will need to micro the pet a few times. Otherwise this Beastmaster build is a really fun one, and I was hesitating what rating to give to this one, but I think because of the high single target damage, I have to give it a 5. And I know the pet has its weaknesses, but when you can deal 200 plus damage on high level fools, it has to be meta, at least for me. So guys, this was my Beastmaster Ranger video. Hope you liked this one. And by the way, check out the playlist for other builds. I'm trying to make at least one new build video each week, and maybe you'll find something new. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.